I'm Rick Kahler. Thanks for joining me. Last week, I spoke about hidden junk fees, and I ended with a recommendation. Before choosing a phone plan, booking a hotel stay, or buying an airline ticket, or making many different types of financial commitments, ask, what other fees or charges are there that I need to know about? Now, that's easy for me to recommend, and it's much harder to implement. Our brains just don't automatically adapt to new habits overnight or remember things like this. In addition, there's times when you receive a bill with additional charges and fees that you had no reason to anticipate. A post-COVID added restaurant fee is one example. So, what can you do? The first and most obvious action is to review any bill before paying it. Now, that might seem pretty logical, right? Well, that suggestion in and of itself is fraught with money scripts and emotions. Take this example. When you've enjoyed a meal and engaging conversation with friends, the last thing you might want to do is break the flow by taking time to review the bill line by line. It could be easier just to hand your credit card to the server, trusting everything on the bill to be accurate. Unfortunately, my experience with restaurant bills is that there's an adjustment needed on 1 out of every 3, not even counting any hidden service fee. What else might prevent someone from stopping and reviewing the bill? Well, could have a money script that scrutinizing the bill would be insulting to the server, or fear of what your guests might think, of giving them the perception that you're a penny pincher, or you can't afford the cost, or you're overly focused on money rather than the experience. The possibilities here are endless. And then if you do review the bill and find an error, then what? Well, logically, you bring the error to the attention of the server. However, even the prospect of a conflict may result in you deciding the issue just isn't worth it. So you pay the extra charges. If you do bring up the disputed charges, the server could agree and make the adjustment, or might instead need to check with a supervisor. Well, this takes additional time and focus away from your guests. And so it goes on and on. This is how complicated a single restaurant bill could be. The same dynamics are involved with receiving the final bill for a car rental, a hotel, or a ticket purchase. Without taking a minute and reviewing the bill, you don't know what you've just agreed to. And if there is an erroneous charge, do you even have the time to negotiate a reasonable settlement? I mean, think about this, that you may be in a super hurry to check out of a hotel or drop the car and dash to the gate to board your flight. So again, the best way to preemptively reduce the pressure in the situation is by checking before the services are consumed. In the case of a hotel, asking for a balance to be run the night before that you check out can often reduce the surprise and stress of discovering the problematic charges as your Uber car is just pulling up. The bottom line is to take care of ourselves financially in such cases, we need to be fully present. This is a state of being aware of our money scripts and all of the emotions that surround them, and then asking them to stand aside while we create the space we need to be fully focused on the charges that we're agreeing to pay. Of course, as I said, that's best done before you buy. But it can also come at any time during the purchasing process and is sometimes even appropriate even once the transaction is done. At that point, the choice may be to dispute a charge with the vendor or through the credit card issuer, or consider the experience as a useful lesson to apply to the future. Thanks for joining me.